Cliven, do you want to talk, or do you want me to open this up to the public comment?
No, we want to hear Cliven. Who
All right,
was
Cliven,
that?
go ahead.
Who was that?
Gee whiz, there's sure a bunch of good-looking people there. You know, you look pretty good up there on that picket line, too.
In there.
In there. You know, I stand before you quite humble tonight. I definitely haven't been the one that wanted to strike the match to this thing, but I've been fighting it for a lot of years, and it's not about my cows, I'll tell you that much. It's about freedom and liberty and our Constitution and our state sovereignty and our Nevada laws and our access to our public land. And above all, it's about our policing power. Who has our policing power today? You know, I can call 911 right now and they wouldn't respond.
We did today and they didn't respond.
I said I could call right now and it wouldn't respond. I could call a highway patrol over. My daughters and sons have tried to have assistance from the highway patrol while they're sitting only 100 foot away. One time there's 3 highway patrols. And guess what they see when they get my boy down and start running the gravel into his head with their knees and their feet? Guess what the highway patrols did? No, they did do something. They turned their cars around and left. That's what they did.
Pansies?
No, it's not pansies. They're bought off somehow with their who's their boss? So
Governor.
Yeah, the governor of Nevada is their boss. I wonder why he don't have some authority and make a little bit of a stand here for we the people of Clark County.
They don't work for us.
That's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we're worrying about the federal government taking my cows. Is that our problem? No, it's not our problem. We don't even have to pay much attention to them. But where our problem is right here at home. I wonder where our Clark County Sheriff Douglas Gillespie's been the last few days.
Vacation.
Well, I don't know that. I went and visited him a couple of days ago, and he was in a nice plush office. I had some pretty nice secretaries escort me in there. But you know where I found him? I found him hiding under the table.
Look at his thumb.
No, he wasn't. He was hiding under the table, and he becomes 000 in my eyes. But he is the man that has constitutional jurisdiction and authority. He has policing power here in Clark County, Nevada, and he has arresting power. So we elected him, and we paid him. We pay him. What did we pay him to do? Don't we pay him to protect our lives, liberty, and property?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys elected him for? Is that what you do with your money, is pay him?
Yes.
What are you paying for? Okay, am I right? We elected him and pay him to protect our life, liberty, and property. Now, I think in my case, my life is threatened when I can't call 911, and I have no Metro will not come if I call them or if I ask them. That seems to be my life threatened. My liberty is threatened when they lock me away from my land and my property, and I can't care for my cows. What was it? Life, liberty, and property? They stole my property, around 300 head of cattle. And right now, them cattle could be moving across to Nevada, and across the United States somewhere. I had reports that there's like 130-something head of cattle sold in Colorado today. I don't know. It's all sort of rumor. But I'm not the one that needs to worry about rumor. Should that be the sheriff's problem and the brand inspector problem in the state of Nevada and our governor's problem? They stole them in Clark County, Nevada. Let me talk to you a little bit about our state of Nevada, our great state of Nevada. This issue has been going forward for years. 2 years ago, it went forward. I've been in the courts of law for 2 years, and now they're making another move on it. And let me tell you how many times the Department of Agriculture, I feel like I am a legitimate producer. I harvest this desert and turn it into food for you. That's my job. That's what I do. And when we elect a governor and a Department of Agriculture, their oath is to sustain agriculture and protect it. And we pay the brand inspectors and stuff. The only reason we have the brand inspection system is to keep thieves from stealing. Other than that, there'd be no reason for a brand inspection. Why would we want to inspect our cattle, moving around all the trouble we go through to get brand inspections? If it wasn't because we're trying to keep thieves from stealing property. And yet, get back to where I was. In the last 2-3 years, I have never received one correspondence from the Agriculture Department, Brand Department. But I will take that back. And it just seems a little bit odd. I don't know why, but it seems just a little bit odd. Cliven Bundy has had the only rabies case in cattle west of Texas in the last 10 years. Nevada's...
It goes further than that. It's the only recorded case in the history of Nevada.
How did it get here?
Well, I don't know, but let me tell you, I did get a quarantine on these 105 head of cattle for 6 months by the state Nevada Agriculture Department. And that cost me probably around $50,000 time I fed them and took the loss. You know, I didn't get, you guys don't even know about it. You know why? Because I didn't report it, and I guarantee the Agriculture Department didn't report it. But anyway, that's just one of my little problems. But hey, I had other problems. Guess what? I had rabies. And I went through that system, and them shots there were 3 days double, and on and on and on. So so be careful. I might bite somebody, and about all I have to say to you is, I love you people, and I love this land, and I love freedom and liberty. And I love the state of Nevada, the sovereign state of Nevada. And nobody can tell me the United States owns this land. I know without a doubt that our Constitution did not provide for anything like the federal government owning this land. And so when I pay my grazing fees, if I owe any grazing fees, I will sure pay it to the right landlord, and that would be Clark County, Nevada. Mr. Chairman, if there's any questions, I'd like to answer them.
Do we have any questions for Cliven, or do we want to start public comment?
I got one.
Just a question.
Yeah, how do they transport your cows
or the brand inspector without your signature on that, or the owner of that brand cow. I don't understand that. I thought that was a requirement.
Well, I got one answer to that. When do they pretend to follow Nevada law?
Right, but isn't that the law?
Well, yeah, it's not. If I don't have my signature on there, it's not a legitimate certificate.
How can they have the right to come and do this by a judge's order without you having first your opportunity in court before a jury of your peers? What kind of conflict of interest is it of a federal judge who's on a federal payroll to make that decision without you having your constitutional right before a jury of your peers, Cliven?
But you know, you probably all hear me talk, do the same old story over and over on the radio and TV. And I don't want to go through all of that. But ask me that question, the first one. See how hard my mind is? I might be losing it.
Which one, about the brand or his?
No, his.
I say, why can they do all of these procedures they're doing right now before you had your opportunity in court before a jury of your peers?
I want to make that comment on that. Okay, one thing you got to understand that I'm a little different than most ranchers in the country. Why am I different? Because I have no contract with the United States government. And a lot of people have said, you don't have a permit, you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have no right out on this land, you're just a trespasser, you're not paying your fees, you're all right. But I will tell you one thing, I'm smart enough to know that if you have a contract with someone, that's a good reason to be in court. And if you have a contract with the United States, you're going to end up in the United States at court. So I have no contract with the United States. Now remember what I told you about who owns this land? Who owns this land? We do. Who are you?
Clark County.
Okay, you're the citizens of Clark County, Nevada. You own this land. This is your public land. And so I asked the question here tonight, is the United States government trespassing on your land? Yes. Okay, let's ask the question again. Is Cliven Bundy trespassing on your land? No. Did we take a vote there? This sound like a democracy. I want to tell you about democracy for a minute, if you don't mind listening to me. You know, there was a horse thief. Well, let's don't call him a horse thief. Let's tell him, said he stole a horse. But anyway, downtown, Overton here, somebody stole a horse. And they found that guy, and they brought him up to the big tree up there, this cottonwood tree up in town. And they got over there, and they got talking, and somebody says, hang him. And then somebody says, let's vote on hanging him. Everybody voted, hang him, hang him. And so they got the rope around his neck, and they pulled up there under the tree, and they had him on the horse, and they got that rope tight, and they're about ready to kick that horse out from under this man. And along comes the county sheriff, and he said, hey boys, you better hold it right there. Hold it still right there. Because he said, if you hang that man, I will hang every one of you. He said, you better get him cut down real easy. He says, that man, I'll take him to my jail, and I'll put him in that jail, and he's going to have his day in court, like the Constitution of the United States says he should have. And we'll have a jury, and we'll decide if he's guilty or not. Now, let me tell you the difference here. The democracy was you guys that all hollered, hanging. But the Republic form of the government said he will have his day in court, and then we'll decide if he's guilty. Right now, this man's not guilty. You better not hang him, because you will hang. And that the sheriff was right. He was exercising our Republic form of government. Thank you, guys.